All right, guys, it is a new year and I have some new topics that I want to talk about. This is the first one of these. This is a type of knife that I just don't understand why people are spending so much money on. So we're going to turn this around and look at what I think is the most useless waste of your money in the knife market. Guys, so while I was editing this, I decided I had to take a step out here because I don't think I accurately expressed how stupid I think these knives are. So stay tuned to the end. You're going to see I'm getting angrier and angrier as the video progresses, and I got angry while I was filming it because I think these are stupid. So just a little step in. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. All right, guys, it is cold in the studio, so I apologize if my hands shake. It's only about 40 degrees out here right now. These are the dumbest knives you can buy. Now, I apologize if anybody gets offended by that. I'm really not going to pull any punches on this. These are a waste of money. None of these belong to me. And stay tuned to the very end. I will show you the one I do recommend getting if you're going to get basically a utility knife. These are glorified utility knives. This is the CVV Elementum version. This is the titanium Chub by Chavez Knives. Ramon, I'm sorry, this thing is going to be the worst. We're going to look at them from worst to best, and then I'll show you the very best one. This one was done by New Knives. This is their Companter version. It's really similar in feel and shape and everything of the Elementum, just some minor differences. This one is a liner lock, and then this is just a cheap Husky backlock version that you can get that's not too expensive. This one, I think, mechanism-wise, these all pose problems. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at what I think is the worst one first, and I'll explain why. And Ramon, I have to apologize, it's yours. It's the Chub. This one is ridiculous. There's a handful of reasons. One, this is the titanium version. These were about $175. Now, right off the bat, I'll tell you why I think that is ridiculous. Because you don't get anything special with this. Now, this did come with a gold blade, which, I mean, why? Or that's titanium nitride on it, but it's no longer sharp. It's dull. They get dull. But basically, what you're going to use on these cheap blades, no one's going to go and buy the expensive titanium nitride coated blade. No one's going to do that. You're just basically going to buy a pack of these 100 for $10, and you're going to get yourself one of these. You're going to slide this out, you're going to stick it in your knife, and there you go. This is what you're going to be using. So why are you spending $175 on this? Now, another reason it's dumb. This one has multiple settings, and I'm going to tell you right now, twice since this has been at my house, I have almost cut myself because I thought I got that all the way in, and I didn't, because it slides nice and smooth back to that point and locks. It does not, no one's going to use that. Why does it have a point there where it locks instead of going all the way back? You really don't need to extend this all the way, because the fact is you only have that much of the blade you're going to be using. And to tell you the truth, this is the least comfortable of any of them. It feels like it's put together backwards. This would be much more comfortable. Like, that's uncomfortable. This knife is comfortable like this, but now the knife's backwards. This just is 100% a waste of money. And as much as I like Ramon and I like his design and his aesthetic, this makes no sense. Now, the real big reason besides price, the fact you can use the same blade in all of these that you're going to use in a cheap utility knife, which we'll talk about later. This one, you have to take this one all the way apart to swap the blade. All the way apart. You have to take out all 4 of these screws to change the blade, because the blade is locked in there. You have to take this off, and then you have to swap the blade or flip it if you want, and it is just ridiculous. $175 you just flushed down the toilet. I don't get it. Now, let's look at the next one, which is every bit as bad. Just the price point on this one is what made this so horrible. So let's look at the next one. And it's the CVV Elementum button lock flipper Elementum utility. Every bit as dumb. Every bit as dumb. This one, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give you a little heads up on one of the things. How many blades does this hold? 1, right? And it only has just that one spot. Now, you have what looks really cool looking knife, right? and we're just going to bring the other one, the next one in, because they fall together in a second. Talk about it. This is just a utility knife. Put in an expensive aluminum handle. These are $45. $45 for something you're going to put, I mean, you have a branded Civivi utility blade on this, but that utility blade is not going to last any better or hold up any longer than the SK5 blades that I have over here that were $10 for 100. Yes, you're going to put new blades in it, and yes, it's going to be sharp, but why do you need to spend that money? As I would expect from Civivi, the action and everything on this is cool. It's got thumb studs. It feels good in hand. It's comfortable. But why are you spending that much on that? The other thing on this one, like the last one, I'm on a job site. I'm using this. I have to be able to like swap out blades in a hurry. I now have to have a Torx bit. I got to have my Torx bits with me. I got to take that blade all the way out. I got to take that screw all the way out, I should say, to get the blade out, even to flip it. And then one of the big things that I'm going to point out, like everybody's like, oh yeah, but you have all this blade. No, you don't. You have that much blade. You have no more blade on this than you have on a regular box cutter. Why? Because the frame that it sits in, you can't cut with this. It catches up, it binds on stuff. It is a waste. Now, I have one that is very similar to this, and we're going to see it right now, and I'm going to tell you it has the same problems, but it's not as bad as this one. And it's this one from New Knives, the Companter. They sent this to me. This is their Companter utility. It is based off their Companter knife that I actually like a lot. And this one is very, very similar to the last one we saw. It's got pocket clip. This one's a liner lock with G10 overlays, thumb studs. This one is a front flipper as well. The thing this one has going for it is it does not require that you have a tool. You can simply roll this out. You roll this out, take that screw all the way out, and then you can basically do this and swap your blade. Now the problem this one has is this has a tendency to damage the end of the blade. So now I can't just flip the blade. I have to, and this has been used a bit. When I put in, a lot of times as you're putting this in, my hands are shaking because it is cold. Like I said, guys, it's like 40 degrees out here. To get that in there, a lot of times the way you want it and the way it needs to go in, you wind up chipping the edge and stuff like that. So you've basically wasted all of that end of the blade. And then when you put it together and you look at it, this one maybe has, of the folding style of these that I have here, I think this one might have the actual best blade length, because you've got that much blade as opposed to that much blade. But still, when you're cutting with this, this gets in the way. All of this frame that holds this in gets in the way. You do not have like about, well, you could replace your knives with this. No, you can't. It is ridiculous. This is like wiping before you poop. There's an R word that we're not supposed to use on YouTube, and that's what this is. As much as I appreciate them sending this to me, and they did a Kickstarter on this, and I do know how people like them, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And like I said, just because this much of the blade is exposed, like if you're cutting like line or maybe fishing line or something, I could see maybe you've got more blade length for that, but you don't need much for that in the first place. For actual cutting, you still are limited to everything above here because this is going to bind up and get in the way. So let's look at the next one, the last of the folding ones, and then I'll show you what I think is the best one that you could ever buy. Now, of all the folding ones, I think this is the best one. And it's the cheapest of all the folding ones. It's just a cheap little Husky that you can pick up at like Home Depot. I think Husky is Home Depot's brand. I can't remember. It's one of their brands. Home Depot, Lowe's, I don't remember. This one has functional jimping up in here where you can get up on it, makes it a full-size knife. It feels like a full box cutter. They don't even try to hide the fact that, they don't even try to hide the fact that's the part of the blade you're going to be using. It is folding. It is a lock back, which is a very secure style. It's going to be easier to manipulate if you're using gloves, which you probably are if you are using a knife like this. You're probably using gloves, you're doing carpet, you're doing something, and you can get up on it. Now, the cool thing about this one, as opposed to all of the other folding ones, there is no hardware that has to be completely removed. Even the one I just showed you, the Companter, you had to remove that screw completely. This one, pull down on this, you open this up, and then you can simply flip your blade from end to end, put it back in, slide that back up in, and it should lock right in. And then you've got the whole new brand new end of that, and it's easy to swap out the blades. It does have a pocket clip like the others, and if you just want to put it on a ring or something like that, this is probably, of the folding ones, the best one. But there is one that beats all of them, and it's the best utility knife you can buy, and it's this one. A utility knife. The cheapest thing you're going to buy. This is probably the cheapest knife you're going to buy. If you like the Fastback, that's fine. If you like some of the others, this one is a Husky. And I bought this specifically for a video about these knives a while back that I did, and I don't think I ever published it. This is simply a box cutter, and it gets used all the time here at this house. You turn back on this, you pull the blade out, you can flip the blade over just like this. Matter of fact, I just used this knife yesterday. It slides in. You've got that, it slides back, it goes in your pocket. And then, guess what? This thing was like $8. $8, if I remember correctly when I bought this. It's not unattractive. If you're on a job site, you can have the fancy one. It's really comfortable in hand. It's going to get you where you want to go. You're not wasting a bunch of money. You've got the blade exposed that you need exposed. And it's not going to give you that false pretense of you've got so much blade you can use. No, that's the functional part of the blade. And guess what? You ready for this? Here's the kicker. This thing came preloaded with 5 blades from Husky. I put one of the Husky blades in it, used it. Right there in the handle are 5 or 4 more blades. You could have the blade that's in it, 5 blades here, only say 4 because I used one of the blades that was in it. Extra blades in the handle. Guess what? It's not any heavier. It's not any more awkward. And if you're on a job site, this is what you want. You want something easy. I can do that with gloves on in the cold with dirt caked all over my hands. And if this thing gets ruined, I throw it in the dumpster on the job site when I leave, and I buy a new one on my way home. But these things are really easy to clean up. This is what you want. If you want a utility knife, don't buy a stupid $175. There is one of them out there that is $500+. It makes no godly sense to me. This is the dumbest thing. This is the biggest money grab in the knife market. Don't buy them. Buy one of these. Let's turn this around before I get any more angry and send you back out about your day. All right, guys, like I said, I don't understand why people are willing to spend this much money on something that really isn't as good as the $10 version that you can get at Home Depot. Plus, if this gets ruined, you can throw it away and get a new one. This is that time that the $10 knife is superior. So, guys, that's it on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't offend anyone with this. It's just something that has not made sense to me, considering you don't get anything really for your money. If you guys like them, that's fine. It's just not for me. If you want to support the channel, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you hit the bell icon, make sure you set it for notifications to all. You guys can support the channel simply by using all of my affiliate links down below. I've got so many down there that will get you to a vendor that can get you a knife you want. I also have an Amazon store, and I have 2 links down there that have a 10% discount built into them. Coffee Brand Coffee, Temper Trail. 10% off your order just simply by using my link. I also have a coupon code of crazysharp that will save you 10% at Fair & Forged Knife Works, Rosecraft Blades, and KATSU Knives. If you want to support the channel a different way, I have a membership. It gets you early access to videos, exclusive content, and I think I have some stuff I may be doing some giveaways for some of the paying members. I think the premium tier guys. Other than that, I have a membership, or not a membership, I have a Discord down below. I will be switching that Discord to actual Discord as opposed to Gilded, but that's open to everyone. So click on that, check that out. If you've got knives you want to send to me, that's the best way to get a hold of me. There's a DM function on there. Guys, that's it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.